MULATSCHAG! Hanna, Elize, Isabel, Mai, Höstblomma, Ruth. Was that good?
That was perfect. Yes.
When was the last time you told somebody that this is your full name?
Oh, that was actually 3 days ago. And you know what I just said? I said, I'm planning to change my name and take out all these names. It's very problematic when you're traveling because, yeah, all the names doesn't fit in the passport, and then people think my name is Hanna, but it's actually Elize. We do that in Sweden. We put the second name first. So I was like, what? I should just change it to like, I don't know, something short, like Hanna Ryd, and that's it.
And also Höstblomma. Höstblomma is the last name because Höstblomma means autumn flower. And that's a beautiful last name, actually.
Yes.
Elize Höstblomma.
I will be like, change my name to Hanna Höstblomma. It's like, yeah, HH. Double H. That's cool.
She's doing so many projects aside the band. Don't you give her not enough work?
Well, she's her own boss at the end of the day. So, and I know that Elize is really restless, full of talent, and she's generally full of music. So she's gonna do a lot more, I think, in the future, besides Amaranth as well, because she also have her idea of a solo project, I think. For me, I'm probably a little bit more into composing my film score music and classical music at home. But maybe one day I will get an expression for that as well. But it's really cool to see her doing her pop songs and heavy metal Finnish shows, and like I said, soon her solo album as well. That's gonna be cool.
Is it any different for you writing with a lady?
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I've only ever write with very few people. I know that a lot of people like to work with different people to get new energy. I really respect that, but I've only ever really worked for a long time with two people. One is Elize, and the other person is Elize from Dragonland, my other band. I will say that the difference is Elize is a little bit less methodical and a lot more spontaneous. Emotional also, yeah, exactly. The thing is that when we are writing together, it's never happened once that we didn't come up with something amounting to a song. So every time we've been sitting down, it's always been something coming out. And I think that's quite unique, actually.
Yeah, I usually work from my like inner emotion, like a force from inside or from somewhere else, the environment, I guess. And I'm not thinking so much of being correct in every way. No.
After all, it's heavy metal, you know?
Yes, exactly, and that's why it's so amazing, the best genre in the world. But that's why it's also good to have somebody who is a little bit more methodic, that can like kind of, you know, put the parts together correct, so to speak.
Fair enough.
No, but yeah, we have a very good connection when we work.
Well, coming back to that you're doing a lot aside.
Oh, yeah.
You did this thing in St. Petersburg. Is there a closer connection to Russia?
What was that?
Oh, you did, let me see, 2013, Alexei Soloy.
Oh, Alexei. Okay, yeah, cool. Well, no, he just like reached out to me, and I think that was the first thing I did because I really loved the song, and I thought I couldn't refuse because the song was so beautiful, I think. But I didn't really have a good recording equipment back then, so he actually came back to me last year and asked if I can remake my vocals. And I was like, yes, otherwise he will give it to someone else to sing. Because I really enjoy the stuff other people do. Like, I love when people come with their talents and present it to me, and if I can, you know, be part of it, it's very nice.
How did you like the city? St. Petersburg, have you been there?
Yes, we've been there many times. I haven't had the chance to see a lot. I've been to like the Rockstar Cafe and stuff like that, but I think it's kind of different. But it's cool.
It is.
And we
Yes.
absolutely love Russia in general, but when it comes, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No.
When it comes to St. Petersburg, it's just a beautiful city.
Yes.
Like to
But
say,
they have
it's
parts
the Venice
that
of the
is
north.
also not so beautiful. That's the problem. It's
Yeah,
very like
a little bit on
very
the
beautiful
outside.
or very not.
Well, it's this European city where, you know, you guys are closer than us in the
That's very true.
center of the continent.
Yeah, we can take the train
exactly.
from.
But I think the idea
Finland.
behind St. Petersburg was to construct a really European city. Peter the Great back in the 18th century. And Nevsky Prospect, beautiful street. The Hermitage, absolutely gorgeous as well. I love St. Petersburg, but need to go there on vacation.
Yeah, that's what I thought
to
too.
properly see it.
Yes.
And it's really close from
Yes.
Stockholm. It's just 45 minutes flight, basically. Yeah.
We have to talk about NOVAROCK a couple years ago.
Oh, do we have?
What-
Why do you make that face?
It wasn't like the biggest, greatest show on earth back then. That was with Dragon Force being
Yeah.
right afterwards.
It was kind of awful, right?
Gee, shit.
I don't even remember that.
I wouldn't either.
The thing is that, yeah, we had a lot of technical issues. I think the band was perfectly prepared for it. Let's not blame any crew, but let's say that we were responsible in the sense that we didn't hire the right people to be behind
That's
the stage.
something you learn.
Which is, yeah, exactly. And we were, as this band, we were really new at the point, and we had all the technical issues in the world at the same time. And the funny thing is that today, we also had a few technical issues before going on stage. So I was thinking that, okay, let's not have this being a repeating of history. But the big difference was that even though we had a few issues on stage, then the show went phenomenal with the songs that we played, even if it was a short set. But yeah, I still remember NOVAROCK in, was it 12?
Everybody's talking
13.
about it.
13, yeah, exactly.
Even Morton have nightmares about that show.
Yeah. I would say it like this, that it's definitely one of the worst shows that we
Yes.
ever played in our entire career, unfortunately.
Poor
then we got
NOVAROCK,
to-
but that's why we only got 25 minutes this time, so
Exactly.
in case it would be
You get
as
judged
bad.
accordingly. No, rock people, if you're watching, that was an awesome show. Put us in the headline next time. Yeah, thank you.
You know, usually in Sweden you don't have AC and something.
Now we do, yes.
You do?
Now everybody's buying them, yes, and they sell out. Yes.
Gee, in Sweden, you know.
I know, it's crazy. But they say that for us it's getting much more warm, but like in the countries where it's now used to be very warm, it's getting very cold. So I talked to a taxi driver a few weeks back, and he was saying, yeah, but what we don't talk about here is that like in the country where I'm from, we have to install these heaters because now it's not warm enough for us. So, yeah.
Last summer it was funny because all the fans and everything remotely resembling an AC completely sold out
Yes.
in the matter of like 1 week. In Gothenburg, where we are living currently, it was over 30 degrees for an entire month.
I actually took down my shades. I didn't. I brought this AC, and then I just closed the windows, put it on, filled my small apartment with like cold air, and I was still laying there for days. I refused to go out. I really don't like when it's too warm.
Your favorite movie is, of course, Kill Bill, right?
Oh yes! Oh my God! How did you know that?
Oh, it
Did I say that? You assumed that? I love it. I fucking love it. I love also.
Ladies killing everybody.
Exactly.
Come on.
So you mean a girl in a cool hot outfit goes around with a sword, taking revenge upon all the people who did her wrong? I now see why you love this movie.
Yes.
If somebody would come up to you and say, hey, let's do, I don't know, Cats, and you the Rum-Tum Tugger or something?
I could do that.
My-
I would love that.
my
But I also love the kind of rock musicals. They were used to be my favorites. So maybe someday we'll do that.
And I would just say my comment would be, let's take 8 months off, because at some point you need to do that. That would be so cool.
I used to be a dancer, and I used to, imagine I would do both singing and dancing and theater. But now since I'm getting a little bit older, I start to get problems with my knees and stuff like this. So I'm kind of glad I chose singing, because you can still sing even though like how old you get. So that's good.
How about
and
you?
write songs.
How about your younger sister? Is she
yeah.
singing as well?
Yes, she's singing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah.
She's into horror, right?
Oh yeah. But it's so funny, you know so much. Yes,
Somebody did
she
research.
forced me to watch horror movies again, and I just got out of it. So now I'm stuck. I watched The Shining 2 weeks ago. I was like, I have to watch
What a
that movie
great
again.
movie.
It's so good.
Yeah. It really is.
Here's Johnny.
That building.
I know. Because I remember it was so scary, and I thought I need to watch it again to make sure it was maybe it's not that scary anymore. And then I watched it and I was like, nah, this is fine, it's not that bad. And then when it turned dark, it got scary again. In my mind, it was very scary.
I think it kind of reflects the music itself, actually, because there's a combination of elegance, but it's still sort of a semi-metal guitar. So it's a little bit like Amarant's music, that it's something that is a little bit more slick, a little bit more poppy, perhaps, meets something that is a little bit, you know, quite rough at the end of the day. And it reflects my personality, because while I love metal music, I also love arts and the things that we talked about before.
He is a riot as well.
I'm what?
A riot.
A riot?
Yes.
In person, you mean?
Deep inside, yes.
Oh
In
yeah,
your
a little
heart.
bit. I can be a bit of a riot, yeah. I like that expression.
Skenet bidrar. How do you say that in English?
A wolf in sheep's clothing.
We are used to making music and live our lives very easy and cheap. So I'm the same. It's like, as long as we could, you know, not be dependent on stuff.
On things. Exactly. No, but it's exactly like that. We just
We don't have a fancy studio, for example. We will never ever get that. It's we already made a deal. Yeah, no fancy stuff.
simple setup, simple computer,
Yes.
pair of monitors, your guitar and a keyboard. That's all you need to write good
Yeah,
music.
and a little bit of red wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello guys, I'm Elize.
And I'm Olof, and we're Amaranth, and we just played fucking NOVAROCK here. It was awesome. And you're watching MULATSCHAG.
The only TV you need.
MULATSCHAG!